have to make the adjustments, even if it is a little bit uncomfortable, even if I have to like push past objections and get people to understand that they need to do something about this today. And if I, tell an agent, hey man, like you got to mention payment, that they're going to have to pay for something, and we're not just seeing if we can get you an approval, because these people are going to hang up to you when you get to the payment section of the conversation, because they don't understand that they're actually buying something, right? And they don't go out there and make that adjustment. They're never going to see the results from the adjustment, right? We don't just want the information. We want to implement the information back in the decisions that we're making so our business can grow. And that might be a little bit uncomfortable at first because you're making a new decision, something that's out of what you've been doing. But the important thing is that you make that adjustment. So over time, it becomes your new threshold, becomes the new norm. So now, as time's gone on, this is just what I do. It's become normal. Over time, I've done it 50,000 times now. And now this is just the way it's done. So now this is normal for me. And instead of it being uncomfortable for the first time of me saying something new or learning that new skill and implementing that new word track or whatever it is into my conversations, and I'm kind of just like hitting the nail on the head and meeting people where they're at about how they're going to have to buy insurance or buy the product that I'm selling. Now I know that I have to do that to be able to avoid that objection, because if we get that deep into the process, I'm not going to get hung up on the payment section, because I'm not going to spend 30, 40 minutes on the phone with somebody and then have them tell me that they're not going to pay for it because they didn't know that they were paying for it. I want to address that up front, right? If I don't implement that into my conversation up until that point, it's a toss-up of whether or not these people are going to understand that they need to go through with it today and actually submit that payment information, because we might be on two different pages. They might be thinking that they're just trying to get approved for coverage, and I'm trying to get them signed up for a policy to be able to pay for the policy, to actually put the policy in place to protect their family, which is the right thing to do. But if I don't explain that, if we're not on the same page, we might miss that. We might just be on two different pages and we get to the end and then they're confused about what we're doing. So I want to make sure that I'm very clear about that. And this is just an example of something that I have been teaching to, a couple of my new agents that are coming in, and I'm trying to get them to understand it's a really important part of the process. But if they don't take that information and start to implement it into the conversations that they're having, then they're never going to see the results from it, right? So you want to implement the things that you're being taught by the person who's teaching you. And it's important to have a good mentor, someone who's done the things that you want to do, someone who's been the places that you want to go, because instead of you having to run through all the brick walls and try to figure it out all on your own, you're going to be able to ask them questions, kind of get that accelerated learning curve, rather than you having to go through all the time it's going to take for you to learn those skills yourself. We can either go through it ourselves and learn all the lessons that we're going to need to know, or we can ask someone who knows so we can accelerate that learning curve so we can figure this stuff out more quickly than it would have taken us if we were to do it all on our own.